Yo, you heard me? What it do? What it be, y'all? It's your boy, A&T, repping the game gang. Y'all know we don't play none of that. If you's a lame, you can't hang. None of that. Bang, bang, all that. Think I messed it up, oh well. Episode 91 of Ant's Random Rants. We got we got a lot of topics. I'm trying to get to them all. I'm gonna try and get to them all. Uh, as y'all can see, I'm playing with the Kings. I made some trades, even more so than the last time. I simmed some games. I'm at like 35. This is game number 36. But that's not what we're here for today. I don't be talking about the gameplay on the random rants. No, no, no. We're going to be talking about some serious topics today. I'm going to throw some jokes in there, but try and be as serious as possible. Forgot I had Brandon Clark on this team. R.I.P. Fucking tragic story. Before I get into like the lead story. R.I.P. Brandon Clark, yo. Didn't even make it to C30. It's a tragic story. Young NBA player overdose in his prime. I don't think we've had. They were saying something like this has been like the first time a player has like died, period, ever, since like Drazen Petrovic or some shit like that. Like NBA players be getting into the trouble, this and that. Don't get me wrong, but they don't be killing people. Or, well, actually, no. What's his name was like a big time a drug dealer, and Chauncey Billups out here running. Uh, damn, Ja, you cannot do shit, huh? Thank you. All right, we gotta lock in a little bit. Yeah, we've had some NFL players pass away, like most notably Darren Williams, who was just unfortunately at the wrong place at the wrong time. Uh, that one hit home because I mean Denver Broncos obviously, but yeah, I mean still sad situation either way. Young life lost, especially I mean regardless if he was a pro athlete or not, but still sad either way. Still sad. Let's get into the main shebang. And I'm gonna just keep it a bean with y'all from the rip. America looks pretty cooked right now, y'all. And I say that with the best meaning. Like I feel like when, especially now, it's really depending on who you talk to, you can't criticize America. Even though we are fucking up majorly, not just ourselves, but the rest of the world. Uh, and that's the thing. I've often said there is a fine line between nationalism and patriotism. I consider myself a patriot. I love America. I want the best for it. And maybe my vision isn't the same as everyone else's, but there's no way what's going on right now. Actually, no one could have envisioned it, but we all seen it coming. There were warnings that were issued that went unheeded. It happens. Unfortunately, it's gonna cost us, and it's costed others lives. Bottom line, with no sugarcoating, we're the Strait of Hormuz is the choking point for America right now. We are getting strangled by Iran's control of the Strait of Hormuz. And some people may be thinking, well, who could have thunk that? Who would have guessed they would do something like that? We did. Despite, what's been said, or, what may be being pushed in media narratives, that was pretty much Iran's trump card all along. We knew before this invasion even started that if we ever invaded Iran, then the Strait of Hormuz would be at play, and they could potentially shut it down because they don't have nuclear weapons to fight us. They don't have the billion-dollar defense budget that we do. They are not surrounded by two oceans like we are. And two neighboring countries that, are less powerful militarily, but maybe just as strong, maybe not Mexico economically, but Canada, maybe just as strong as us economically. And this is where some of those people who want it both ways cannot have it both ways. You see, because you'll get pushback if you say Canada is just as well off financially as we are. There's no way. America makes so much more money, gross per capita, all that shit, whatever. Well, why can they afford healthcare for everyone then and we can't? Why are people going into debt just due to medical bills and dying because of lack of medical care because they can't afford it? And that doesn't happen there. Can't have it both ways. Oh, shh. Oh, no, Giannis. So there's no end in sight. Again, despite popular narratives from the people most powerful in our government, the war is not over. We have not won. Sure, we took out their like 60-year-old Air Force and their military and shit like that, but we can't take back the Strait of Hormuz. And I mean, yes, we did initially take out their leader, quote unquote, and Trump thought that would lead to some kind of a Iranian revolution, kind of like how we did them at, I believe it was like in the 40s or the 1950s, something like that. And we took out the Shah or whatever, but yeah, that didn't happen, obviously. The leader was replaced by his son, big shock, and the Iranian, what is it, Red Guard? The Iranian Red Guard, something like that. They're still in power. They're still getting the job done and still holding most of the power in Iran. Not much has changed over there. Oh yeah, and we bombed some school children. And yeah, I mean we can't really win, and the Strait of Hormuz is closed, and gas is still rising, and everything like that. And I've heard some wild things like, oh, gas goes up like that, but it takes a while for it to go down. Pause. Just like, who buys that? Genuinely, who buys into this poppycock? It goes up like this, but I've been at a pump and that shit goes down by like 2 cents in like an hour or two or whatever. It changes every 12 hours. It's not one of those things where you have to wait for the end of day stock to close. It's pretty consistent with how the market is. It's one of the few things it's consistent or can fluctuate and go up and or down, instead of the shrinkflation that we see with most things. Yeah, besides bombing civilian infrastructure like bridges and schools where kids play at, we haven't really done a lot to change anything in Iran or get their oil or anything like that, like Trump has wanted. So, I mean, he really did try to rally the Iranians by killing their leader, and that didn't really help much. And would just still like to point out that no one has still, uh, for some reason, no one has been arrested for the Epstein files yet. Just throwing that out there. But Trump took a trip to China recently and got them to agree that Iran shouldn't have nukes. I mean, he took, I think, Don Jr. and Elon Musk and a couple other of his cronies. And like I said, they got China to agree that Iran shouldn't have nukes. Which sounds like it should be a big deal because he's out here, oh, he made the deal. But this was actually a little bit more impressive when Obama did it the first time, when he got the original Iran deal signed. But who am I? I'm not easily impressed by somebody doing the same thing twice, and they have to do the thing because they actually, like, they're the reason why they have to do the thing, because they tore up the first thing. And yeah, I mean, I could go on and on, and I will. I've been on my soapbox a little bit about this seemingly unending amount of fraud and incompetence that nobody really seems to be doing anything about. Like, the incompetence levels are cartoonish at this point. The fraud is again supervillain levels of fraud being committed here, and it's not like they're really hiding it. They are tweeting about it and bragging about it on social media and in interviews damn near every step of the way. And I really don't want to hear any more complaints or criticisms about rappers, drill rappers maybe specifically, committing crimes and live streaming or telling the world about them on social media or putting it in their music, because here we have basically a mafiocracy at hand writing crime into law and shitting on international crime. And like I said, documenting it by themselves every step of the way, tweeting about it, bragging about it in interviews, going on 60 Minutes, not answering questions. I mean, it's again, it would be comical if it wasn't so serious and so sad. And it's not, just Trump and his cronies. It's pretty much the entire cabinet. And even Congress now is in the process of arguing that their $200,000 salaries or whatever they make a year isn't enough. It's just not enough for them, and that they should actually be allowed to insider trade, because there's not insider trading going on right now. It's strictly forbidden. So they're in the process of arguing right now that actually, no, we should actually be able to legally uh, buy, trade, sell stocks, all that shit. And there's nothing shady or fishy about that. There's no uh, you know, misconduct or what is the word? It's gonna kill me. Conflict of interest. That's what it is. Oh, damn it. If Zach hit that, I would have went crazy. Let's see if we could. God damn, James Harden tired as hell. I mean, there's just a complete lack of ethics and accountability going on throughout the government right now, and it's honestly despicable. And I'm just saying that I hold this belief that if Congress can do all this insider trading, or should be allowed to insider trade, then why aren't referees in and athletes in sports allowed to gamble on the games. Why not? How are we gonna so the government can inside trade, but we're gonna hold athletes to a higher standard than we do the government. What the fuck are we even doing? Like, I can't even believe that that's even a discussion at this point. But I guess the fraud is just so good right now with, Trump taking the economy and then manipulating the markets in the middle of a war so him and his cronies can benefit and rake in billions. I mean, I get it. I get it. Do what you do, but don't sit there and be like, "Oh, no, athletes, no, you have to uphold the integrity of the game, duh. If y'all got to bet on games, that would be a conflict of interest. You cannot make this shit up, I promise y'all. Actual conversations being had in America. Oh, fuck. Try to hit that 3 with Ja, but it's cool. Oh, fuck. We're going to have to call timeout. I didn't even realize how far into the quarter we were. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's hit Musa. Could bring in DeMar for a few minutes. Actually, yeah, that's probably... And as y'all can see, I kind of got me a little West Coast All-Stars team. I've been trying to trade for Dame, but he won't drop his no trade clause. Come play in the sack. Pause. Yeah, I got... Well, Ja's not from Cali, but got DeMar, Zach, Russ. I don't think Chris Paul is from California. He did play most of his career in LA, though. So he might as well be from there. Ooh. Splat. Splat from the Zach attack. Heat him up like Shaq. No, and I mean, yeah, we can't be holding athletes to higher standards than people that hold government offices. That's just crazy. It's bass backwards. And that's exactly what's happening, though. And even recently, we had the Supreme Court abolish the Voters' Rights Act, and states are starting to gerrymander in order to maximize their voting power. In not just the election 2 years from now, but the midterms that are coming up in here soon. And by any and all metrics, it looks like the Republicans are going to take heavy losses in these midterms, which may open up some seats for Democrats, which may pave the way for seeing some kind of impeachment against Trump and or others in his office, but I will not be getting my hopes up, and here's why. I mean, they've let him get this far. You know, they let him get this far, and his little band of DEI cronies, they've all got this far with little to no resistance. The damage that these people have caused, not just to America, but to innocent people across the world, and what they've done to America's reputation among foreign allies. It'll take years, if not decades, to try and get back some of the trust that we used to have. But let's kind of wrap this segment up a little bit. I'm glad I kind of got that out the way in a decent amount of time. But before I go, here's what I don't understand above all else is I just don't understand how everyone is so complicit. And I know I'm not everybody got a 9 to 5 job, or people who work full time, can't protest every day or whatever. People got bills, people got rent, people got groceries and shit to buy. I'm talking more so about the journalists and the people in office that are supposed to be fighting to protect what's best for the average American. Not corporate stockholders, not foreign allies or foreign entities that, are giving significant amounts of money in donations to some of these people to fund their uh, colonization ventures in 2026. But like journalists, just not asking tough questions, just softballing questions, or even like when they get non-answers, they just move on. Nobody gets asked, "Hey, you didn't answer that," or "Hey, no, you are clearly lying." That's kind of one I've been waiting for. "Hey, you are lying. That did not happen," or "That is not true." Simple. Gets Our president gets to call people piggy for asking journalist questions, for doing their job, or insults the intelligence and calls them foul or truly evil people. Shows no decorum. The minute you call them out or you meet them with that same energy and you belittle them, how he tries to belittle, or if you belittle his followers, how Trump tries to belittle them, or how they try to belittle everybody else, like marginalized groups that are already belittled by the society in general, and how this caste system is set up. But when you meet them with that same energy, then they're, "Oh, well, where's the decorum?" Like, no, fuck that. Fuck decorum at this point. Far past decorum. Yet for some reason, the Democrats, or at least the old guard, are still trying to carry on that old sense of decorum. Oh, we need to try and fight together and, try to work through solutions together. Newsflash. They are not interested in that. They are trying to inflict, or I don't even think they're trying. I think they are trying to line their pockets and do the most corrupt shit. And if anybody gets hurt along the way, fuck them. If kids starve, if poor people get kicked off of Medicaid, if veterans get kicked off of their health care, fuck them. You're not on the right team, player. Again, the Democratic Party specifically have done next to Nathan, nothing to stop or even hold this corporate mafiocracy that we're witnessing. They're not holding them responsible for anything. All they do is yell at them in court on CNN or on TV when they're doing these little like investigations. And then they complain on Twitter like the rest of us. There's been no arrest. There's the only two people that got any kind of punishment was Pam Bondi and Christy Noem. They got fired by Trump and immediately replaced. They haven't been arrested, no charges, nothing. No investigations, no third party investigations, no nothing. And I'm just like, what is everybody so scared of? Vladimir Putin was a legitimate like KGB guy, was in the military, has seen some shit, lived through some shit. Legitimately scary person. If you talk shit about Putin in Russia, you die. Kim Jong, the Il and the Un family, the Kim Jong family. You talk shit about them in North Korea, you die. What's the consequence for not for talking shit about Donald Trump? There's not people getting, killed in mass. There's not political opponents or maybe there is, apparently Trap Lord Ross dropped a video talking about people around Trump dying and shit. I might have to check that out, but there's been no major political opponents that have died. Like uh, AOC is still alive. Gavin Newsom still alive. Like his biggest all the people. Oh, okay, well maybe not all the people that have accused him of things are still alive because, as we know, some of them have been killed according to the Epstein files. But Trump himself is not doing that. And I mean, he may have somebody else do his dirty work for him or something like that. But this is not a scary man. Like, I firmly believe, even now more than ever, that, like, when he got shot the first time in his ear or whatever, there's no way. There's just no way. No scar tissue missing. His ear still looks exactly the same, even if it was a graze. I mean, we could go on and on into this. I genuinely don't think that shit happened. And we still don't really know a lot about the guy or the kid that did it or whatever. He was a supporter or whatever, but who knows? Who really knows? Again, Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, supposed Democrats, have made it clear time and time again that they will put the interests of foreign interests like Israel over helping the average American every time. John Fetterman is a Democrat in name only. Could have checked the presidential powers to go to war and put a stop to this ridiculous, illegal, offensive war that we started. And he was the one vote. And that's how history will look back on John Fetterman. But he's been glazing Trump his entire uh, this entire run, pretty much. Yeah, been meat riding Trump this entire term, and when it comes to securing funding for Israel and doing just enough to make it look like fighting Trump, or like they're fighting Trump, while accomplishing next to doing it, I mean that's pretty much been the entire like Democratic strategy. Talk tough online, talk tough on Twitter, and then even on TV in a courtroom, but no one's been arrested, no one's been impeached, no one's going to jail. No one's facing any consequences, so that gives me little to no hope of anybody actually seeing any consequences or taking any kind of accountability for all of the destruction that they have caused and probably will cause more, especially if he makes it through these next 2 years, which he may die before he even gets any kind of uh, reprimand before he gets reprimanded for any of this. So, but while we were on the topic of committing brazen crimes and leaving a trail of obvious evidence around it, let's talk about this D4VD situation, which is a crazy name, by the way. But apparently his name is pronounced David, who was like an up and coming. Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know how popular it is sometimes when they're like, "Oh, this was an up and coming artist." It's a very broad term, especially nowadays. And I won't really get into the semantics of why that is, but it legitimately is a broad topic because I had never heard of this fucking guy. I heard about this dude like probably maybe a year ago when this shit first dropped. But let me take a brief interlude real quick and let me get into this. Alright, y'all. I'm back. But let's talk and kind of break down this whole David situation, because this shit is crazy, y'all. Like, even when I first heard about this case, and like this is how I first heard about David too. Some people was like he was an up and coming artist. I never heard a song from bro. Didn't hear nobody ever talk about. Oh, you hear this new David drop? Never collab with nobody, but he not really my cup of tea anyway. I listened to a couple of his songs after this whole shit took place, and after they said that he was leaving clues and shit in music videos. So peeped him. I wouldn't have. I was yeah, not my cup of tea. So apparently, bro had like a cult following, essentially, I guess, and that's what like Discord has allowed some of these smaller artists to do, is maintain a more personable or personal relationship with some of their fans. That is not always the best idea, as we can obviously see in this case, because if you heard about this case right when it happened, or when they discovered this young girl's body and some of the details dropped, I mean, it was kind of obvious that bro did it from the beginning. Like, it was pretty obvious. Like, even people that wasn't even in like the fandom, like when I seen it, I was like, oh yeah, like he obviously did it. But then they took forever to arrest him. But now I think it's becoming more and more clear why it took so long for an arrest to be made. But uh, arguably, this was completely avoidable, and I'll get to why here in a minute. But the details that we like already kind of knew were crazy and just horrific in general. But now, uh, investigators have worked out pretty much a timeline of events and how we pretty much got to where we are today. So, I mean, this may be one of the most gruesome murders, but it's also one of the this is up there with some murders that like a drill rapper would commit. Like, it's just so obvious, so many mistakes. But let turn this page and let's get into it. Like, not only was it sloppy, but this young man really thought that he was going to get away with murder. And the more it's looking, it might be in the first. Like, gang, you had music videos planned, you had songs written about it. A lot of this shit just seemed very calculated. Okay, hey, Jalen Smith out here getting buckets today. He's saving me from having to call these timeouts, so I'll take it. So let's go through this timeline and see just how demented this story really is. So David and the victim Celeste Rivas, I believe her Rivas, or he met this girl Celeste when she was 11 years old in January of 2022. He was 11 years old when they met. I believe he might have been 16, maybe. But then begin began an intimate relationship in, what was it? I think September in 2024, which is a key like piece of information because I believe September is Celeste's birthday. So one could suspect, even maybe assume a little bit, that he was grooming her at least until she was, 13, and then he like officially got with her, which is just disgusting. So then in February of 2024, Celeste ran away from home and she was reported missing by her parents. Now, authorities found David's contact information in her phone, and so they visited his house. They found nothing, and he said he copped a plea and was like, "Hey, I didn't know she was missing, and I didn't know she was underage, but I hope y'all find her, yada yada yada, all that bullshit, right?" But 2 days after they talked to David, Celeste came back home. And again, this is the part where I was like, this could have probably been prevented had they dug just a little bit more digging. Uh, Unfortunately, they didn't. And after returning home, her parents took away her cell phone. And there is evidence now that David gave, I believe, like $1,000 to some of her classmates to sneak her a phone. Paid middle schoolers to give her a cell phone against her parents' will, so he could still contact her. And I didn't know this, but he worked at the school. He worked at the school at one point or something like that. No, 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 no. Because I'm pretty sure they met through. I thought. What the fuck? Y'all see that camera? Okay, that was weird. I'd have to check. I think my sister was telling me he worked at the school, but I don't think that's right. I'm pretty sure he met her on Discord, but that's really neither here nor there. But he paid the middle schoolers $1,000. We know that for a fact. Again, just sick behavior. Again, somebody should have stepped in and been like, "This is wrong." So one of the kids at least should have had the wherewithal, like, hmm. But let me see, where was I? My bad, y'all. So yeah, they after he sneaks her the cell phone and shit, they start hanging out again. They take trips. Keep in mind, she's not 18. So he was taking her on trips to like Vegas and Texas, which is, I mean, obviously in the United States, but one of those trips was to London. And you have to be like, you have to be with an adult or like a guardian, I thought, to travel if you're underage across the country. Am I tripping? Hmm. I'll have to do more research into that, but yeah, there's no way. I mean, they took trips to London. It's documented, and they went to Vegas and then finally to Texas to meet David's family, allegedly. There hasn't been, I don't think there's been any word on from David's family about, if they have ever met Celeste, but I'm sure that'll all be revealed in court. So in April 2024, Celeste is reported missing again. And between April 2024 and April 2025, David and Celeste break up, but they keep in contact, which I think, from how it looks, and from some of the text messages, Celeste was becoming mature and kind of wise, kind of hip to the games that this fucking goofball weirdo was playing. Because she was like, there's a text message between them that's been, revealed that she texted him saying, all we do is have intercourse and hang out. And she's like, I just want more for my life than that. So I think that, and what others have speculated is she was becoming mature and hip to the game that he was running. She was getting older and he was probably trying to prey on some other young girl because she was getting older. Who knows? Who knows what? Because this guy, they found a lot of disgusting things on his phone with underage people in it, that's just crazy. So who knows if she was just getting a little too old for him, or if he genuinely didn't like just want to be with her anymore, but he wanted to break up. Still wanted to keep her around, I guess, to use her and groom her still. Um, but she eventually was like, I think I have a better idea. I think she probably extorted him, said, "Give me XYZ, or I will expose you." And that was the breaking point because he knew if she exposed what was really going on with them, his career would be over. So, uh, on April 23rd, 2025, David lured Celeste to his house at around 10:10 p.m. She arrived. Uh, Allegedly, right as soon as she got there, David surprised her and stabbed her multiple times. The knife still hasn't been recovered as far as I know. So we don't really we don't have the exact murder weapon that was used to kill her. So he attacks her, stabs her, watches her bleed out, and he then leaves his house at 11:30, and on April 25th, David drops his album, and his video for One More Dance depicts him putting, or a dead body getting put into a trunk and burying somebody out in the woods, which is, I'll be damned if they don't. I mean, man, they've wrapped up rappers for less. I'll tell you that. So on May 1st, David bought 2 chainsaws from Amazon using a fake name. On May 5th, he bought heavy duty laundry bags, body bags, and a blue inflatable pool, which again were purchased from Amazon with the same fake name. Prosecutors believe this is when Celeste was cut up. They used the chainsaws to cut off her arms and her legs and put them in his Tesla. Or, I mean, maybe they had it sitting in his house, as some evidence may point to, but the remains did eventually end up in the Tesla. On May 8th and on the 31st, David returned to the same lake he went after he allegedly murdered Celeste. And on September 8th, 2025, David's Tesla is discovered abandoned on the side of the road in Hollywood Hills at the tow yard. LAPD discovers Celeste's remains in 2 different bags, and on April 20th, 2026, David was officially named a suspect in Celeste's murder, canceled his tour and his press run. And keep in mind, he's having album release parties. He's kind of, like kind of blowing up. Like he's going on tour. He's experiencing life as a growing artist while he has the body of a 13-year-old girl rotting in his house and then later on in his car. Like it it's sickening. And he did this to cover up the fact that he might lose his career. And you know what? He never deserved to have one. He never deserved to have one to begin with. You out here grooming and taking care and taking advantage of your fans like that, and then killing them, and nah, bro. He right exactly where he belongs, and then he'll probably I don't know. It's California, so he'll probably get life because this is just such a crazy. It's a crazy story. It's I can't think of anything really that would like I could think of off the top of my head other than like maybe the Black Dahlia, but we never discovered or knew who killed her. We don't know who killed Elizabeth Short, but I can't think of any famous celebrity that's ever been caught like with some shit like this, other than like Aaron Hernandez, which CTE may or may not have been a contributing factor to that, but I mean, there's no excuse for this kid. He knew exactly what he was doing. He premeditated it. He planned it out. He was hiding it while he was going on tour. Yeah, he's cooked. Found it in his Tesla. He's over here taking media training classes and shit like a week or two after, so he's gearing up just in case he gets discovered. And what a lot of people think is that he was trying to get rid of the body and he got cold feet. Either it was too grotesque and he couldn't handle the smell and he just couldn't handle it and he pussied out of bearing it, or he figured out, damn, I'm gonna have to bury this body, uh, which I mean, a 6 foot hole takes a lot of manpower and time, and I ain't got time for all that. I'm a celebrity or a pseudo celebrity, I guess, but if he would have taken just a couple extra steps, he would have gotten away. But then apparently they found her blood. They found Celeste, or traces of her blood, in his house. So yeah, man, they got the Uber going to your house that you ordered. You texted her, where are you? You didn't really try to like look for her or like call the police like when she didn't arrive. Yeah, yeah, man. You knew it was shady all around. He knew it was shady all around. I mean, it's just absolutely despicable. But speaking of unfathomable degenerates getting justice, oh man, see, and I have been seeing, if you're living under a rock or if you're not chronically online like me, I've been seeing clips of this Chud the Builder guy for a few months now. But I don't think, I didn't really want to give him the time of day or anything like that. But there's no better time to talk about it than now. Boy, oh boy, is man, he cooked. He is chop suey, bruh. Oh, actually, Bryce. Fuck it, we could put John in there for a couple more minutes, or at least one more minute. Let me pause it. I think I need some water. I ain't gonna lie. My voice is getting hoarse from all this ranting. Oh yeah, that's tart. I'm gonna need some real water. I'll be right back. All right, yeah. Before we move on to this Chud the Builder story, let me just finish off this with the whole David thing. The police think that they have the motive. They have the timeline. David was the last one to see her alive. And there's even maybe some evidence that he may have tampered with evidence and or manipulated witnesses uh using his Discord server and deleting live streams and or messages on there that may or may not have been key pieces, but we'll never know now. But he also, some of his mods have been in question for how much they knew and how much they helped him cover up some of the illegal shit that he was doing, or how much they helped covered up the murder of Celeste. But that will all come to light in court, just like what really happened to I guess everyone's most hated racist for the moment, Chud the Builder. D1 Crash Out. Seen him. I was seeing bro for a few months. I was seeing his clips, and I didn't want to give him a platform. I didn't want to talk about it. Not that I didn't want to like ignore it. I just knew even people in that sphere, in that racially charged rage bait sphere, knew with how he was moving. Gang, you asking for it. You're begging for it, gang. And I just remember a quote saying, "You keep campaigning for something, you might fuck around and get elected." You feel me? You just might fuck around, get elected. And that's exactly what happened here. You see, because again, for those of y'all who don't know who Chud the Builder is, he is a white man who was roaming around the streets of what is it? Not rural Nashville, but it's like in the city mostly. Uh, uh, the city area. I cannot think of the words are hard sometimes. The metro area, the metropolitan area of Nashville is where he would do most of his live streaming. And racist white person on Kick is not really much of a story, but the way he was doing it, like I said, is really, he was going on the street and calling random black people the hard R word. And when they would respond, how you would think anybody to respond when uh, being called a degrading name by a random stranger, he would bear mace them. Or he would brandish his firearm and threaten them with death, essentially. And he was doing this for months, just going around rage baiting black people to their face. And of course, the racists loved it, and they called him a hero. It's free speech and this and that. But it's these same people that if you walked up to them while they were with, like their wife or their children or something, and you started insulting their wife or children or something, now all of a sudden it's not free speech anymore. Now all of a sudden disrespectful language isn't just, free speech. Now it's all them are fighting words. Yeah, buddy. And I've long held this belief, and I don't believe it's true for everybody. Some people just legitimately just need their ass beat. Just one good time. I'm not saying they need it continuously or they need to be beat after that. Just one good ass whooping. Knock them the fuck out. I ain't saying you gotta stomp their brain in and make them bite the curb or nothing, but just, on some bully beatdown shit. I feel like that's one of the things we could have adopted as a real life punishment in society that just, I don't know why it didn't catch on. I don't know why that did not catch on. I think that MMA fighters would probably get paid better by our government than Dana White to do some shit like that. Oh, we have a child abuser here. He likes to hit children and women. Nice. Okay, well now you get to go with 3 minutes with fucking Ilya Taporia, or 5 minutes. We'll give you a classic pride round. We'll even throw in a ref when he feels like you've had enough. When you're knocked out or when your leg is snapped or whatever. You good. You good. You still gonna do about 6 months, but we'll get you nice and cleaned up. But that's definitely that could be a part of a sentence. I feel like that's just something I would throw out there. But see, we got a little bit of that. You see, because Chud the Builder was kind of caught slipping lately. Well, he wasn't exactly slipping, but he was at court. He owes like $3,000 in credit card debt, something crazy like that, right? So, um, gets caught slipping outside by a black army veteran outside of the Montgomery courthouse, I believe, in Tennessee, just outside of Nashville, I believe is where it is. Now, there's varying stories, of course. There's two sides to every story. There's, one side, the other, and the truth. According to Chud the Builder, he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He was just minding his business, recording, and some guy, black veteran walks up to him and goes, "Hey, don't you say any of that racist stuff to me." And Chud tells him, he's standing his ground. He tells him, "Hey, man, back off. I'm armed. Don't you see? I have a gun." And the guy still came forward. Or, well, actually, no. According to Chud, the guy still charged him, so Chud had to pull out his firearm and defend himself. But that's not what the other guy's story, of course, was. And apparently, what video evidence shows now, because now that we've seen it, Chud pulls out his gun first, and the guy still charged him and tried to fight him. What a fucking legend, first of all. Second of all, Chud shot him, didn't kill him, and ended up shooting himself as well. So close. So not only did he was just unsuccessful all around in this endeavor that he's had. He did not use his stand your ground self-defense George Zimmerman bullshit in order to successfully, rage bait a black person into murdering them on camera. No, 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 no. He actually got his ass whooped on camera, tried to defend himself with a gun, and ended up shooting himself and the guy. And both of them were treated in the same hospital. Except I don't think that guy got arrested. And Chud did, because I think he was either on parole or on probation or some shit like that. And uh they slapped him with a $1.25 million bond. And for those of y'all who don't know, for collateral, I think you only have to put like 10, I think it's 10% up. So like if the bail is $10,000, you only have to put up $1,000. Bail is 100,000, put up 10. If the bail is at 1.25, you better be putting up like $125,000, I believe it is. Oh boy. And with the amount of credit card debt he's in, I don't think he's getting out, you guys. I think he's about to just couldn't get a bond. He sat it out. They put that hold on me. Oh no. I ain't gonna use the phrase that he be using. I think I'm not trying to start the fact that people are trying to use that as a new phrase or a common phrase is despicable to me because of the racial history between it. But he honked out for all my clowns and Caucasians. Yeah, don't be out here honking out. Dalton Dalton Ethley, aka Chud the Builder, if he could have just exercised his composure as much as his free speech, then he wouldn't be in this situation. Just gotta he honked out. All the whites gotta stop honking out. All the beans gotta stop. My Latins gotta stop beaning out. All my black people, stay woke, my brothers and sisters. All that. You feel me? Get that weak shit out of here, Kyrie. Damn, Brandon Clark tired. Why didn't we replace? We have a timeout to pull. Russ going off. Okay. What kind of subs am I pulling? Am I tripping? Oh no. It looked like Quentin Post got hurt. You see? Hold on, gang. Cause if you look, gang, that shit did not look healthy. I'm gonna keep it a beam with y'all. Oh yeah. Hold on. Oh, he does. We have to pull him. We kind of have to pull him. Let's run it. But yeah, new pack in the air. Rest in piss, Chud the Builder. You still be a free man if if them racists ain't gas you up, goofy motherfucker. Oh man, he not even the. I mean, Chud went out the saddest. I ain't gonna hold you, but there's another kick streamer that's been going out pretty sad lately too, and I don't cover none of these in the sphere, but I be chronically online, so I just be seeing some of the happenings. Like for some reason, my algorithm thinks I want to see fucking Adrian Broner and Dean the Great get faded and talk to Selena Powell. I don't give a fuck about neither one of them, but you want to talk about somebody going out sad? Oh man. Y'all hear that fucking weirdo hammer smash face cannibal corpse looking meth head clavicular is a Peter Thiel plant? Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Yo, that's y'all. Come on, gang. I know y'all got a better face for your propaganda than that. That's the poster child for Palantir. Hey, somebody tell Peter Thiel the Antichrist is mogging the fuck out of him. The alpha, beta, omega, pseudo intellectual maxing master of his own cranial universe, Peter Thiel, is getting cooked by the Antichrist. It's embarrassing. Clava plant, rest in plant to him, and all those metrosexual motherfuckers he was turning up with in the club. Especially when they was playing that weak ass fucking Kanye song. Motherfucker ain't been hot, what, since like Pablo? Pablo only had like maybe a few good songs on that motherfucker that had a few good slaps. Had some weak ass bars in it though. I ain't gonna have the Bleach bar. Come on, man. That ain't it. Oh yeah, R.I.P. to Clav's cortisol levels too. I'm sure they permanently spiked after almost overdosing in a club couch from a mix of fucking claustrophobia and Adderall and shit, or Fent. Probably both. Probably some Fenterol. Keeps you down while it keeps you going. No, I don't know how they be doing it. I don't know how it's, when you're streaming for like 12 hours though, I mean, I guess you need something. Who knows? I don't know. But there's one more thing. We get into halftime. I pretty much got through everything. Maybe I need to start writing more often because I was actually on topic for a lot. No stumbles. Very few stumbles, I should say. Musa. Oh. No. No. Okay. It's whatever. We got justice, or it looks like we gonna get justice for Celeste. Chud the Builder look like he getting slapped with the big titty of justice. What did they say? The dildo of justice rarely comes unlubed. I mean, I'm sure that like I said, the Trump administration will face zero. We probably won't see anybody get face any kind of accountability or get reprimanded for anything, but we did see quite possibly maybe the second sloppiest murderers to get, some kind of justice dealt to them. And y'all know I'm talking about the Julio Fulio murders. Now they was live streaming the case, and I don't know, academics was probably covering it, but this is one of Trap Lil Ross's things, and he was going in depth. Same thing with this whole David situation. And kudos to him. I feel like he's trying to step into his like legitimate journalism bag and kind of step out of like the drill scene and stop covering dead rappers and stuff like that. I mean, it's still like profitable, but he's out here trying to do like political videos and stuff like that, and I'm gonna have to check it out, bro. Like I fuck with that, because I mean I personally like him doing collabs with No Jumper and shit like that is a little weird. Oh, strained left hip for Quentin Poe, 6 to 8 weeks. Nice. Fuck. That hurts. Um, yeah, I feel like Trap Lil Ross doing collabs with Adam 22 and shit, and I mean maybe it's to build his brand, and I get it. You got to collab and do shit, to try and get in the algorithm, and especially because they kind of cover some of the same topics. Adam 22 covers like California street politics, and Trap Lil Ross be covering shit from all over the place, so I could see why kind of clicking up with them and getting some inside information as to what's going on in California. Not the dumbest business move by any stretch, actually a pretty smart one. So I dig it. But him also flexing his like, I don't want to say what he's like. I feel like he's doing a really good job of covering like uh gang beefs and wars across, like he's in a whole I think I don't know if he still lives in the UK, but he's from the UK. And he covering shit that's like literally foreign to him. And he does like for what it's worth, gang, like this is the kudos I'll give him. He does this shit better than damn near anybody, bro. There's not a lot of motherfuckers that do this shit better than Trap Lil Ross, for real. All these street reporters and street analysts and shit, bro, they really just be coming up with the most barbershop harebrained fucking conspiracy theories, bro. It's frustrating at times, because you got other motherfuckers out here really believing like this fucking ridiculous ass story that makes no sense, and then it gets like severely disproven by in court and by police and just investigators in general, and there's no accountability. Oh, hey, my bad, y'all. Nope, they're just on to the next story, next video, next beef, next bullshit story that they could push with almost no facts. Ross be giving motherfuckers facts, tweets, details, affidavits. Like, this motherfucker really be on his job. So kudos to bro, for real. I feel like just sometimes he be trying to be somebody he not, and maybe I don't know bro personally, so I can't really like speak too much on it. I just feel like the way he dresses and shit, I'm just like, bro, you You showing your corny side a little bit, gang. But that's cool, I guess. I mean, you not a Fendi rocker, gang. You not Trap Lord. You don't need to rock V-Lone, motherfucker. Like, you could dress like Nardwuar, bro, and still be alright, and still be accepted in the not just the gang or street culture, bro, but just music culture in general. If you're really trying to step into the outside of the, like, the street bag or whatever. Leave the streets alone, Ross. No. I'll be bullshitting on here, but the second dumbest killers next to D4VD gotta be the Julio Filio killers. And they, man, traveling from one city to another in one specific car, with hella weapons on you, stalking a man's location through the internet. Then going to the hotel that this man is staying at, where they have by far some of the best security footage I have ever seen on a hotel. On a matter of fact, anywhere. They caught Julio shooting in 4K. That shit looked like a Tubi movie, the way they pulled up on bro. Except that shit was real life. And they pulled up and smoked bro. And the woman that helped them commit the crime and was basically tracking Fulio for them and letting them know where Fulio was, she snitched on him. I think Sean Gathright, he the biggest crash dummy of them all. Supplied the guns, supplied the car, and this was not even his first attempt at trying to kill Fulio. This one he succeeded, of course, but just months before that he had tried to kill him before that. And again, had two loving parents, had a mom. I think both of his parents were military parents. That's how he was able to get these high-powered rifles and shit. And the only reason why we know that is because when they tracked the location of the car and his cell phone and all that, and the Airbnb they were staying at, and after the girl ratted on him, they found the guns and ammo in his house. Found text messages. Mountains of evidence against these guys. The world's dumbest criminals. But they just couldn't wait. They had to go and get that get back. And I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that Fulio was a saint or anything like that, but just come on, gang. Do your thing. Just be safe with it. Youngin Ace, if the walls ain't closing in, and if the feds ain't watching or whatever, I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. You done dodged bullets, literally and figuratively, because it was trying to wrap your name in all that shit. They kept bringing your name up in the trial. So, fact that he don't got a RICO or they ain't wrapped him up in nothing yet. Maybe they're watching him, see if he makes a mistake. Who knows? But from the looks of it, Youngin Ace got rid of his biggest op. Now he ain't really got shit to rap about no more. But something tells me that doesn't really concern him as much as it does with getting Fulio out the way. I think he could never drop a hit song in his life, but the fact that he got the biggest hit of his life out the way, I mean, that's all that matters to him. He went platinum in his hood. You hear me? Yeah. Not getting no easy buckets around here. No easy buckets around here. Yeah, they crashed out. Never got the money that was supposedly on Julio's head. Youngie Nace ain't got to pay no money out to them crash dummies. None of that. They get to spend the rest of their lives in jail. But I mean, hey, I think one of them, I think it was Davion Bennett. I mean, his codees were trying to plead for their life and this and that. He was in there laughing and giggling and shit, cracking jokes. Hey, stood 10 toes. Stood 10 toes. Speaking of standing on 10 toes, I seen a tweet and it just made me think of that. Uh, y'all think that Chud the Builder is gonna stand 10 toes on the freedom of speech in jail and use the hard R word in jail, or do you think he's gonna stop using that shit because he don't got bear mace or a gun on him when he's saying it? I don't know. Some people was on some, the Aryan Brotherhood might, he might click up with them. I don't know. But he got some domestic abuse allegations. I don't know if they play that. I don't know if oh shit, actually, hold on. Oh. I gotta get James Harden shot down. I ain't gonna hold you. He's had some wide open looks and there we go. Bang it out. Just could not hit from long range. Yeah, no, that's pretty much all I got. Got all through my notes. One more thing. I mean, the Cavs stopped the Detroit Pistons. Stopped. James Harden ain't even have a good game. There's gonna be some nasty conversations about James Harden. If he don't play well in the finals, there are gonna be some dirty conversations to be had about James Harden. James Harden and KD, man, I don't think I ever seen two motherfuckers fuck up their legacies harder and do it in the same era, damn near. Okay. Ooh. go. Ja got that 10th. Oh, that's a foul. That's on me. I actually should call timeout. While we're on the subject. Oh, this Kings team, I'm digging it. Not gonna lie to y'all. James Harden, Russ, got the California kids. Yeah, James Harden, Russ, DeMar, and Zach, I believe. Ooh, okay, Bryce, go crazy. Hell no, get that shit out of here. Wait, can DeMar hit these? No. He got a slow ass shot. I ain't gonna hold you. Whew. It's just a little too late. Yerp. When Alright. Finish this stream strong. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's been episode 91. Ant's Random Rants. It's been your boy, A-N-T, repping the game gang. Y'all know we don't play none of that. Use a lame you can't hang and all of that. Bang, bang. This has been episode number 91. Ant's Random Rants. Skirt. Should have been a 4-pointer, but it's cool. We should be cool till the end of the game at least. Oh. Alright. Oh, damn. I got a quick ass shot. Call him quick draw Morant. The fuck? Y'all hear that Mortal Kombat ass scream, bro? Just okay, Ja. Go crazy. Oh no, we splacking shit now. Game over. Blew the Mavs out. At least we close to halfway through this season. Oh yeah, the Knicks put a whooping on. I forgot. I didn't have these notes. That's why I forgot. Pistons lost to the Knicks. Or no, Pistons lost to the Cavs. Got fucked up by them. So the Knicks be waiting on them in New York. That's who I picked to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, I said the West would be the Spurs and hopefully Denver, or I'm sorry, OKC and Denver. But the Spurs made it so, and honestly, the Spurs were my second choice. I just picked the Nuggets because I was biased. So I got both of my predictions right, but that's what a lot of the experts kind of pegged. Pause. This as what it was. Oh jeez, and one. Nice. Alright, let's just call this timeout real quick. Finish up this game, wrap it up, get some of these chores wrapped up too, and Get ready to hit the hay. Moose a dead ass tired. Okay.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Again, thank y'all for tuning in. Been at this for almost an hour, or actually 2. We're gonna get this done. We gonna win this a chip. But I'll be back on playing LA Noir and am I gonna finish LA Noir? I don't know. The audio in that game is just so fucking terrible. But I need to get back on a Jedi Survivor. That's for sure what I need to get on next. I need to figure out what old school game I'm gonna hop on if I'm not gonna finish LA Noir, because it's not like I'm not having fun. It's definitely a good story, but the audio is just unbearable. And I know if I can hear how bad it is, then y'all have to hear how bad it is sometimes. But we'll see. I'll make that decision soon. Y'all be safe. Stay tuned. It's been your boy, A&T. I'm out. Peace.